Snowflakes danced outside the floor-to-ceiling windows of Axton Harrington's Manhattan penthouse, blanketing Central Park in a pristine white hush. It was Christmas Eve, and the city's elite were toasting at galas, but Axton sat alone in his leather armchair, nursing a scotch, the weight of his empire pressing heavier than the holiday cheer he couldn't muster. Then, a soft knock echoed from the hallway. Maria, his loyal housekeeper of 15 years, poked her head in, her apron dusted with flour, but it was the young man beside her, carrying a tray of cookies, who made Axton's heart skip. Jamie, her son, with eyes like polished amber and a smile that cut through the room's sterile opulence. Jamie set the tray down with a casual grace, his flannel shirt rolled up to reveal forearms honed from weekend construction gigs. "Mom said you might want some company tonight, Mr. Harrington. These are her famous ginger snaps, guaranteed to chase away the blues." Axton chuckled, surprised by the warmth in Jamie's voice, a stark contrast to the polished flattery he endured from boardroom sycophants. As they talked, the conversation flowed effortlessly, Jamie's tales of community college classes clashing with Axton's stories of cutthroat mergers, igniting a spark Axton hadn't felt in years, one that made him question the fortress he'd built around his solitude. By midnight, as Maria retired to her quarters, Jamie lingered, helping Axton string lights on the artificial tree that had sat barren in the corner. Their hands brushed, and in that electric moment, Axton realized this wasn't just kindness. It was connection. Jamie's laughter filled the empty space, drawing out confessions Axton had buried deep. His strained relationship with his conservative family, the loneliness of being a closeted gay man at the helm of Harrington Industries. Jamie listened without judgment, sharing his own struggles. Growing up in a working-class neighborhood in Queens, navigating his identity in a world that often equated masculinity with heteronormativity. As the clock struck 12, they clinked glasses to new beginnings, but Axton couldn't shake the unease of their worlds colliding. Wealth versus want, secrecy versus openness. The next morning, Christmas Day, dawned with a crisp blue sky, but Axton woke to a text from Jamie. "Thanks for last night. Let's grab coffee sometime." What started as a casual meetup at a cozy diner evolved into stolen afternoons. Jamie introduced Axton to hole-in-the-wall eateries where the portions were generous and the conversations real, far from the Michelin-starred pretensions Axton knew. In return, Axton showed Jamie the city's hidden gems, the rooftop gardens of skyscrapers, private art collections that whispered of privilege. Their bond deepened through shared vulnerabilities. Jamie confessed his fear of disappointing his mother, who had sacrificed everything after his father's death, while Axton admitted the pressure from his board to maintain a family man image, code for straight and settled. Yet whispers of conflict began to stir. At a holiday party Axton hosted for his executives, he introduced Jamie as a friend, the word tasting like ash. The sidelong glances from colleagues, laced with unspoken questions about Jamie's modest attire, ignited Axton's defensiveness. "He's more genuine than anyone in this room," Axton snapped at one particularly nosy VP, but the incident planted seeds of doubt. Jamie, sensing the tension, pulled back slightly, reminding Axton of the chasm between them. "I don't fit in your world, Axton, and you can't keep hiding in mine." Their first argument erupted over dinner, Jamie accusing Axton of shame, Axton retorting that coming out could tank his company's stock in a conservative market. The makeup was tender, a quiet walk through snow-covered streets, but the rift lingered, a harbinger of storms ahead. As winter thawed into spring, their relationship blossomed in secrecy. Weekend getaways to upstate cabins became sanctuaries where they could be themselves, cooking simple meals, debating politics, and exploring the quiet intimacy of companionship. Jamie's optimism chipped away at Axton's cynicism. He encouraged Axton to volunteer at a local LGBTQ center, where Axton saw the raw impact of societal biases firsthand. But external pressures mounted. Maria, oblivious at first, caught them in a lingering embrace one evening, her face a mask of shock and concern. "Jamie, he's your my boss. This could ruin everything we've built." Her words echoed the class divide, fueling Jamie's internal turmoil. He loved Axton, But at what cost to his mother's stability? Society's gaze sharpened too. Paparazzi snaps of them at a discreet cafe sparked online rumors, with tabloids speculating about the mysterious young companion of the reclusive tycoon. Axton's family, a pillar of old-money propriety, descended with ultimatums. His sister, Evelyn, cornered him at a family brunch. "Think about the legacy, Axton. Dad would roll in his grave if he knew you're involved with the Helps kid." The homophobia, veiled in concern for reputation, cut deep, forcing Axton to confront his own internalized fears. Jamie, facing backlash from his peers, some accusing him of gold digging, began questioning if love was worth the erosion of self-respect. Amid these tempests, a glimmer of hope emerged. Axton attended his first Pride event with Jamie, anonymous in the crowd, feeling the pulse of acceptance that had eluded him. It was there, under rainbow banners, that he whispered his love for the first time. Jamie's response a fierce embrace that silenced the world's noise momentarily. But as summer approached, subtle cracks widened. Anonymous emails to Axton's office hinting at scandals, Jamie's unexplained absences tied to family matters. The drama intensified when Axton discovered Jamie volunteering at an advocacy group protesting Harrington Industries' environmental policies. Policies Axton had inherited but never reformed. "How can I love someone whose company poisons communities like mine?" Jamie challenged, tears in his eyes, sparking a heated debate on ethics versus affection. The confrontation in Axton's office lingered like a storm cloud, but it pushed them toward deeper honesty. Jamie explained his activism stemmed from his father's death. Lung cancer linked to industrial pollution in their old neighborhood, possibly tied to companies like Harrington's. Axton, defensive at first, promised change. "I'll audit our practices, make it right." Their reconciliation was raw, filled with apologies and renewed vows to bridge their divides. Yet, societal conflicts escalated. At a charity gala, a drunken donor cornered Jamie, slurring about upstarts infiltrating high society, igniting Axton's protective fury. He publicly defended Jamie, a half-step toward coming out, but the backlash was swift. Stock dips, board murmurs, and family estrangement. Jamie's world cracked too. Friends from his queer support group questioned his choices. Dating a closeted billionaire? That's not empowerment. That's compromise. The internal tug-of-war peaked during a heated group discussion, where Jamie defended Axton's gradual progress, but doubts seeded. Meanwhile, Maria's unease grew. She confided in Jamie about her own sacrifices, immigrating from Mexico, enduring low wages to give him opportunities. "Don't throw it away for a fantasy," she pleaded, her words a dagger in his heart. Axton, sensing Jamie's withdrawal, surprised him with a weekend in the Hamptons, where they walked beaches at dawn, sharing dreams of a future unburdened by secrets. But paradise fractured when Evelyn arrived unannounced, her face thunderous. "This ends now, Axton. The board knows. Rumors of your lifestyle are tanking investor confidence." The argument exploded, Evelyn hurling accusations of selfishness, Axton retorting with years of suppressed rage. Jamie, caught in the crossfire, fled to the shore, waves crashing like his emotions. That night, under starlit skies, Axton found him, kneeling in the sand. "I can't lose you," Axton whispered, pulling Jamie close. Their embrace was a silent pact, but the incident amplified the class warfare. Evelyn's disdain for Jamie's background fueling Jamie's insecurities. As fall painted the city in gold, their love tested new bounds. Axton began reforming his company, divesting from harmful ventures, earning quiet respect from Jamie's activist circles. But personal tolls mounted. Jamie's college advisor warned that associations with controversy could jeopardize scholarships, while Axton faced a shareholder revolt. A pivotal moment came at a town hall where protesters targeted Harrington Industries. Jamie stood on the picket line, Axton inside defending reforms. Their eyes met through the glass, a silent acknowledgement of opposing sides, sparking a night of soul-searching. "We're fighting the same battles, just from different trenches," Jamie said, leading to a tentative alliance. Jamie consulting on corporate social responsibility, Yet, undercurrents of deception brewed. Jamie started receiving cryptic calls from an unknown number, hanging up abruptly. He dismissed them as pranks, but Axton noticed the tension. Society's microscope intensified with a leaked photo of them at a private dinner, sparking online debates. Was this genuine love or a PR stunt? Conservative outlets decried it as moral decay. Progressive voices criticized the power imbalance. The controversy reached Maria, who confronted Axton. "You're putting my son in the spotlight. He deserves better than being your secret." Her words stung, forcing Axton to propose a bold step, going public. The decision ignited fireworks. At a press conference, Axton announced his sexuality and relationship, framing it as a stand for authenticity. The room erupted. Supporters cheered, detractors booed. Jamie, by his side, felt empowered yet exposed. Backlash was immediate. Boycotts from traditional clients, hate mail flooding in. Jamie's community split. Some hailed him as a trailblazer, others accused him of selling out. Family dinners turned tense. Maria wavered between pride and fear. Evelyn cut ties entirely. Through it all, their bond strengthened, late-night talks evolving into plans for a shared life. But shadows lengthened. Jamie's absences increased, tied to meetings he evaded explaining. Axton, paranoid from corporate espionage, hired a private investigator discreetly. A choice born of fear, not distrust. The report arrived like a bombshell. Jamie had been meeting with a journalist, sharing details about Harrington's past dealings. Betrayal sliced through Axton. Was their love a facade? Confrontation loomed, but Jamie preempted it, confessing tearfully, "It's not what you think. I'm helping expose corruption. Not yours, but linked to it." The revelation. Jamie's father hadn't died from generic pollution. It was a cover-up involving Harrington's former partners. The drama peaked in a rain-soaked argument on the penthouse balcony. Axton accused Jamie of using him. Jamie countered that love had blinded him to seeking justice. Emotions boiled. Regret, anger, forgiveness clashing like thunder. They parted that night, hearts fractured, but seeds of reconciliation planted in mutual understanding. As winter neared again, Axton dove into investigations, uncovering truths that could redeem his legacy but risk everything. Reconciliation came slowly, like dawn after a long night. Axton shared the investigators' findings with Jamie over coffee in a neutral cafe, admitting his mistake in spying. "I was scared of losing you," he said, voice cracking. Jamie, eyes softened by exhaustion, forgave him partially. "Trust is fragile, Axton. We rebuild it together." They agreed to collaborate, Jamie providing insider knowledge from his father's old files, Axton leveraging corporate access to unearth buried scandals. Their partnership reignited passion, but now laced with purpose, turning personal love into a force for change. Societal ripples widened. Media frenzy dubbed them the unlikely allies, with interviews probing their relationship's authenticity. Conservative pundits railed against woke capitalism, while LGBTQ advocates praised their visibility. At a panel discussion, a heckler shouted, "How can a rich guy like you understand struggle?" Jamie's eloquent response, detailing his upbringing, silenced the room, but privately, it reopened wounds. Axton's board pressured him to distance himself, threatening a vote of no confidence. "Choose, the boy or the business," one director snarled. The ultimatum forced Axton's hand. He divested shares, prioritizing integrity over empire. Family fractures deepened. Maria, torn between loyalty to Axton as employer and protectiveness for Jamie, mediated tense dinners. "Love isn't enough without respect," she advised, her wisdom a bridge. Evelyn, however, escalated, leaking old emails hinting at Axton's past indiscretions to tabloids. The smear campaign painted him as reckless, amplifying homophobic tropes. Jamie stood firm, countering with op-eds on resilience, but the toll showed. Sleepless nights, strained silences. In a vulnerable moment, Jamie admitted, "Sometimes I wonder if we're fighting too many battles." Amid chaos, tender interludes sustained them. A quiet anniversary picnic in Central Park, reminiscing their Christmas Eve meeting, reaffirmed commitment. "You've changed me," Axton murmured, Jamie replying. "And you've given me hope." But external conflicts intruded. A lawsuit from former partners alleging defamation, dragging Jamie into depositions. His testimony exposed vulnerabilities. Childhood poverty, identity struggles, fueling public sympathy but personal exhaustion. Society's judgment peaked at a protest outside Harrington HQ, where counter-demonstrators clashed, one hurling slurs at Jamie. Axton's protective embrace went viral, symbolizing defiance. As revelations unfolded, the shocking truth's outline emerged. Jamie's father's death linked to a Harrington subsidiary's toxic waste dump, covered up by bribes. Axton, unaware until now, confronted his late father's confidants, unearthing documents implicating board members. The discovery shattered him. "My legacy is built on lies." Jamie's support was unwavering, but guilt gnawed. Had his attraction to Axton been subconsciously tied to seeking closure? The moral quandary sparked arguments. "Did you approach me for revenge?" Axton asked. Jamie denied, but seeds of doubt sprouted. High society shunned them. Invitations dried up, replaced by isolation. Jamie's friends distanced, wary of the spotlight, while Axton's colleagues defected. Yet solidarity grew in unexpected places, young employees forming an internal ally group, community leaders offering platforms. A turning point, Axton testified before Congress on corporate ethics, crediting Jamie's influence. The exposure risked ruin but garnered respect, stocks rebounding on transparency promises. Personal drama crested when Maria revealed a secret. She had known about the cover-up, accepting hush money to fund Jamie's education. "I did it for you," she confessed tearfully. Jamie's world tilted. Betrayal from his mother. Entanglement with Axton's family sins. The family confrontation was explosive, accusations flying like shrapnel. Axton defended Maria, highlighting systemic pressures on immigrants, but Jamie stormed out, questioning everything. Days of silence followed, Axton pacing his empty penthouse, Jamie crashing with friends. Reconciliation beckoned via a heartfelt letter from Axton. "Our love isn't perfect, but it's real. Let's face the truth together." They met at their first diner, tears mingling with coffee. Forgiveness came, forged in shared pain, leading to a renewed vow. Expose the corruption fully, no matter the cost. The exposure plan unfolded meticulously, logic tightening like a noose around the guilty. Axton and Jamie pored over evidence in late-night sessions, their collaboration a blend of intellect and emotion. Maria joined, her insider knowledge crucial, turning guilt into redemption. As documents leaked strategically to journalists, the scandal erupted, headlines blaring Harrington cover-up exposed. Board members resigned amid investigations, stocks plummeted temporarily, but public support surged for Axton's whistleblowing. Societal backlash was fierce. Conservative groups boycotted, labeling it a gay agenda attack on business. Protests outside the penthouse turned ugly, with chants decrying their relationship as immoral. Jamie faced doxing, his personal life dissected online. Past relationships scrutinized, fueling debates on privacy versus accountability. Is love fair game in justice? Forums buzzed, amplifying controversies. Axton's coming-out story inspired some, but others accused him of opportunism, using his boyfriend to clean his image. Family healing began tentatively. Evelyn, facing her own isolation, reached out apologetically. "I was wrong, scared of change." A awkward reunion dinner bridged gaps, though tensions simmered. Maria's role evolved. She retired with dignity, funded by Axton's severance, her bond with Jamie mending through honest talks. "We all make choices in survival," Jamie conceded, empathy replacing anger. Romantic strains tested resilience. Jamie's activism clashed with Axton's pragmatism during a heated strategy session. "We can't go soft on them," versus, "We need evidence, not emotion." The argument ended in embrace, reminding them of core connection. Yet external pressures mounted, a subpoena for Jamie, risking perjury if truths twisted. His fear manifested in nightmares, Axton soothing him through wee hours, their intimacy a sanctuary amid turmoil. As trials loomed, a pivotal twist. An anonymous tip revealed deeper conspiracy. Politicians involved in the cover-up, tied to campaign donations from Harrington. The revelation elevated the scandal nationally, drawing FBI scrutiny. Axton and Jamie testified together, their poise under fire earning admiration. Media dubbed them modern Davids, but the stress fractured. Jamie collapsed from exhaustion, hospitalized briefly. Axton's vigil at his bedside crystallized priorities. Nothing matters without you. Recovery brought clarity. They escaped to a secluded cabin, reflecting on journeys, from Christmas Eve spark to Crusaders. We've changed the world a bit, Jamie mused, Axton agreeing. And each other more. But doubts lingered. Was their love forged in crisis, sustainable in peace? Society's verdict split. Polls showed majority support for transparency, minority decrying disruption of tradition. Climax built as verdicts neared. Guilty pleas from executives validated their efforts, but one holdout, a former mentor of Axton's, countersued for libel. The trial was a spectacle, cross-examinations probing personal lives. Mr. Harrington, did your relationship influence this vendetta? Axton's defiant response. Love influenced my conscience. Jamie's testimony, detailing his father's agony, humanized the stakes, swaying jurors. Victory came bittersweet, convictions secured, reparations ordered for affected families, including Jamie's. Harrington Industries rebranded under ethical leadership, Axton stepping down to consult. Celebrations were muted, the toll evident in weary eyes. Yet, in quiet moments, their bond shone, simple dinners, walks, plans for advocacy work. But the shocking truth's full unveil loomed, a final twist unraveling threads. In the aftermath, as confetti from victory parties settled, Axton uncovered the ultimate revelation in sealed documents. His father had orchestrated the cover-up to protect a personal secret, an affair that produced a child. The child? Jamie's father, making Jamie Axton's half-nephew? No. Deeper dig revealed Jamie's father was Axton's half-brother, concealed to preserve family image. The pollution death wasn't just corporate. It was familial neglect, Axton's father abandoning his illegitimate son to die untreated. The truth hit like a freight train. Axton confronted it alone first, papers trembling in his hands. We're related. The distant blood tie, uncle and nephew by half-blood, shattered illusions. Jamie, upon learning, recoiled. This changes everything. Was our connection fate or curse? Emotions erupted. Disbelief, horror, betrayal at hidden histories. Society's lens would twist it into scandal, fueling debates on taboo loves, even platonic in intent but romantic in reality. They parted ways, initially space to process. Axton dove into philanthropy, atoning for lineage sins. Jamie traveled, seeking identity beyond shadows. Months later, a chance meeting at a memorial for pollution victims reignited dialogue. Blood doesn't define us, Jamie said. Choices do. Reconciliation tentative, they chose friendship over romance, advocating together against systemic injustices. Years passed. Their story became legend, inspiring reforms but sparking endless controversy. Class divides mended partially, homophobia challenged, corporate ethics elevated. Yet, the shocking truth lingered, a testament to life's complexities. Was it right for Axton and Jamie to pursue their love despite the familial revelation? Or should societal norms always prevail over personal emotions?